are experiencing a COVID breakout in Tobago.
Yeah.
And the Tobago House of Assembly, some members, they got caught up in disobeying the laws for the COVID situation.
Yeah.
They were too close to each other for comfort. And I believe our Prime Minister was part of that congregation. What do you have to say about that? And why the head of why the big boss of our country was not vaccinated before?
Very good question. First of all, Mama Coco, I may say that on behalf of the Tobago people, again, wish the Prime Minister a speedy recovery. All right? I want to wish him a speedy recovery. Anyone who is sick must always wish them well. But, again, I'm saying, the Prime Minister had no right to be a victim of COVID-19. We know more about COVID now than we have ever known about COVID before. All right? But
Yes.
this is not about the rapid spread of COVID in Tobago. This is about setting Tobago up. So no election can be called now, it must be delayed. They are trying to infect Tobagonians with the COVID. But we are a resilient people. And God has taken up residence in Tobago.
Hello.
God has taken up residence in Tobago because wherever there is trouble, Madam Coco, the psalmist says, God is in the midst of trouble.
Yes.
Yes. He said, God is our what? Refuge and strength.
Our fortress.
He said, God is a refuge and strength, a very present help in
the time of trouble.
Wherever there is trouble, God is there. Ask the 3 Hebrew boys this evening, Mama Coco.
Hey,
when they were in trouble, when they were in the fiery furnace, and Nebuchadnezzar look inside, who see there?
He saw 4 people.
He said, put in 3. But how come this one look at the Son of God? What's going on there? He said, look come out. When the Medes and the Persians and them took over, and King Darius placed Daniel in the lion's den, he was them hungry like that. He couldn't sleep all night. Whole night, imagine the lions them mashing up Daniel. When he rushed down the early morning, he said, Daniel! He said, Daniel!
Hello.
As the God yourself able to deliver you. He said, oh, King, live forever. Oh, King, live forever. And so we have a very evil person as a Prime Minister who is trying to infect Tobagonians with the COVID. Yeah? And then turn around now and say they can't keep elections. Because what so how come you allow all that thing to take place and you know so much about COVID and you have allowed yourself to be exposed? I wish him a speedy recovery, but I wish he had the knowledge to protect himself and maintain social distancing. Wash your hands and walk with your hands.
Your hand sanitizer and get your mask.
And hand sanitizers. Avoid the shaking of your hands. Do your elbow as this. Keep a social distancing. How could you get COVID? Explain that to the people who face it was breathing on. What's going on there? That's important. What type of, we have to understand just before that, we had one of his ministers and them on a show without no mask. And he chastising the minister. Now we have COVID. That's why the Bible say, brethren, he said, if you see a brother overtaking a fault,
hey, you sir.
He said, correct him, He said, but be very careful. Listen, you be guilty of the same thing. Mama Coco, I try my best to avoid those type of gatherings. All right? And when I do, I tell people keep a social distancing. And I have my mask on. And I have my thing in my hand.
But brother, what happened when you were just trying to walk around, do that little walk, and everybody had on the mask and was social distancing?
Everybody had on their own mask. It was social distancing.
And the police stopped you.
We learned thereafter that one of those police was motivated by politics. All right? One of those policemen. And we have to be very careful that we do not bring politics into the place of work.
Hey.
All right? The law within the civil service and the public service forbid public servants from engaging in politics. It is tantamount to misconduct, and you can be suspended or interdicted from duty. Because what's good for one is good for all.
That's
the very
right.
next Friday, a group of religious people were walking around the same place unharassed. Unharassed, not one police was in sight. And they went, as a matter of fact, they opened the House of Assembly and they walked through the House of Assembly unharassed. We were outside in the pavement, walking on the pavement. They came blocking and harassing us, cajoling us, almost prompting us to break the law. Thank God for Jesus. We are patient.
Oh boy. You are here to talk tonight, and I am so proud of you. I'm so happy that you are enlightening the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It should be Tobagonians, but is everybody?
That's right, around the world.
Yes.
Your shows I love too. All Africa, people have been watching our show, Mama Coco. All in Africa, all in Asia,
hey,
all in the Middle East.
Hey, sir.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
everybody. So, Assemblyman Mr. Watson Duke, what is the current status of the COVID vaccine distribution in Tobago? Have you been vaccinated? I understand that my cousin Tracy was vaccinated, and this guy who can't speak the truth, some Morrison or some guy, I think he needs a course. You see what happened? PNM have been ruling for so long, doing one thing, lying and cheating.
So right.
So the younger heads that just come in, it becomes chronic now.
It's chronic in their blood. They can't help themselves.
One question: have you been vaccinated? They ask him. He can't answer. You tell me about yourself now.
Mama Coco, I have not been vaccinated, nor have I been called to be vaccinated, and it's a choice that I would make, Mama Coco. I'm not excited about it. All right, well, being vaccinated. I'm not excited about being vaccinated. Definitely, right? But I will not decry the need for people to be vaccinated. I will not decry it. I will not put it down. I will not evil speak it. All right. But I'm not excited about it. I'm not one who will run to a line and line up or put on my status, I'm getting vaccinated today.
Why not?
It's nothing to be excited about.
Can you clearly, you don't have to be clearly, but can you give us one little reason why? Why not?
Well, I think that it's a good thing to be healthy, and it's a good thing to allow these things to play themselves out a little bit. All right, for me personally, and I want to see it play itself out a little bit. I'm not against it, obviously I said, but I would like to see it play itself out a little bit more.
Okay, that's the answer I'm going to take. Anything more, that will just have people worrying too much about it. I took the vaccine, and I took the one shot. I took the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson, right. How it felt? One shot.
Very, very good, one shot. The next day I was very...
So are you reckless now that you've taken the vaccine?
No, I will never be. I'm never a reckless person.
And you're going about the place saying, no, I can't get it anymore? Invincible?
No.
Are you still cautious?
I cannot. Very cautious.
Washing your hands, wearing your mask?
Hey, my friend. You wouldn't know how much I wash in my hands.
And that's very critical. Mama Coco, it's critical that you say that, because the vaccine doesn't make you invincible. It doesn't make you impregnable. It doesn't make you above and beyond the catching of COVID. Yeah?
Well, let me who took it, not you.
Yeah.
Let me who took it say something.
Advise me.
It makes you feel more comfortable and free.
Well, mentally, you know.
No,
mentally it does.
Not mentally alone. Not mentally alone. I'm telling you. I never used to socialize. I never used to even go out to the store.
Yeah.
But I think I could go to a store now. Still covered.
Mentally, of course.
Still covered and everything. Because we have up to, I think it's 3 months or so before you can judge whether or not.
That's what I'm saying, precisely. Yeah. And that's where the proof is. is in the eating of the pudding. So a person like yourself, it's a good person for us to watch. And it's good for you to say that. Because I don't want people to take it back.
Here comes the doctor for you.
I have to say,
all right,
this information is correct, Mr. We need to talk about it. I will invite you so you and I talk about it. But
okay, nice.
The information isn't accurate. Coco, you're considered fully vaccinated 2 weeks after Johnson & Johnson. So today is your 2-week mark. So you are considered fully vaccinated as of today. As of there's no grand conspiracy here. The grand conspiracy is what you spoke of before, which is if you come to Tobago unvaccinated, have a party without restrictions, even when you know the population hasn't been vaccinated, that is indeed reckless public health behavior by public officials. It doesn't matter what the political party is. If you, Mr. Duke, had a similar gathering, I would tell you, you too would be reckless.
Yeah. I would not.
It was thoughtless. It was feckless. That's what it is.
Evil. Thank you, doctor. It's good to have a doctor in the house, yeah?
Good to have a doctor in the house.
Yes.
All of us who need to be corrected, we got to say, thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Well, look at that. Alison Smart is saying, what COVID that? I don't think she believe in it. And Walcott say, I also had mine. Let me read what Adam says.
They said big wedding going on now in Federation Park. At a 1% relative wedding reception. One law for them, another for the plebs. They got to render that. Remember,
you got to remember that rain.
God is watching.
Alison Smart said there's a big wedding going on right now.
I've heard about it also too. Someone from Trinidad told me, who get married? I said, I really don't know. But that's life, no? That's life.
Patsy King is saying, did everyone saw TDC took the vaccine, or it's just, she mean Tracy Davidson, or it's just word of mouth? Well, Patsy King, I don't know.
Yeah,
you
we
asked
don't know.
a question that we asking the same thing too. I heard so. It's alleged. When they asked the young man, what's his name, Morrison? What's his name? What's the young man who can't answer the question?
Oh, yeah. This is Kevon or something like that. Or
Morris? Yeah. So what's his name?
Yeah, Kevon Morris. Something like that. Kevon Morris. Yeah.
He won't answer whether or not he took it.
Mama Coco, the young man is suffering from lack of experience and newness. All right. For him, being an assemblyman is a big advancement. He likes the power. All right. And he wants to be a star boy. Not the service, not the work. Because the first thing you will do as an assemblyman, you'll be the last man to lead the ship. All right. It means that you will be the last man to be vaccinated. You will try to give, yes, Kelvon. You'll be the last one to be vaccinated. You'll want that mother with the children, that old man who has health challenges. You want those persons to be vaccinated. The person who is working in the hospital, you want those persons to be vaccinated. He has no ministry. He has no secretarial duties. He has nothing to do. All right? So why is he rushing to be vaccinated? But again,
knowing that it's 3,000 vaccines, but it's 1,500 people would be vaccine because it's a vaccine
double shots. Right. And knowing that the working population in Tobago is about 20,000 people. All right. The working population about 20,000 people from the government side. How could they therefore, Mama Coco, rationalize among the workers who are going to work every single day, whether it be URP, CPEP, whatever? How could you say, well, look, that you are interacting more with the public than they are interacting with the public? Come on. How do you create that priority listing? Where does the people on the ground fit in? As opposed to himself, who does nothing when the daytime comes, but to play the fool. Come on, Mama.
My God.
It's
this show tonight is so impactful that we have another question here for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same question. we have to move it along. I think we are doing good.
Mama Coco, I'm glad for this opportunity to sit here with you, you know.
So now we have a big question here for you. And I hope management is ready with the question. That question is yes, that question is do your job. Speed up.
Roll the job.
That question is about secession. That question is about secession.
Okay.
It's about what PDP wants, because I think people like our cousin there, Mr. James, is speaking a different language.
Yes.
Have you heard him? Yes. So let's get the question here now. I think management must be going for water.
A lunch break.
So Mr. Duke, given your current absence of the portfolio within the THA executive, despite being a 6-6 division, how will you serve Tobago during this coup?
We can only serve Tobago from a position of one who gives a loud cry. We become as that kind of person, a loud cry kind of person.
Break that down.
Well, we are just persons there to make loud noise, really. Loud noise. And to let people know that our people are not happy. That's all we can do. It's almost a form of protest, right? Civilized protest. So you can only have press conferences and talk and say we're not happy with this and try to create public support and to give a particular picture. But in truth and in fact, what people want is real solutions to real problems. They don't want talk. And those real solutions begin with a properly constituted Tobago House of Assembly. It doesn't begin with a holdover government playing handsy-pansy with the people money and yes, no, and that kind of stuff. So what can we do? We continue to make noise. We continue to keep marches. We continue to do things to call the public attention, and the public meaning the public of Trinidad, Tobago, and the international public. Because like you, Mama Coco, you know, I've developed, or I do have an international audience. And what happens here also affects the way people think and look outside.
Yes.
Because a number of the embassies in Trinidad and Tobago are paying attention to myself in particular, and also the PDP by extension.
Yes.
And just seeing what's happening. Just seeing the moves afoot. So whatever I say, those spoken quietly, can be taken to be a loud cry, because the audience is reaching the kind of attention it garners.
Yes.
So when I spoke some time back about the central bank coming to Tobago to deal with the polymer money as against the cotton money, then they came. Right? When I spoke about the Dwight York Stadium not having lights for almost 3 years, they responded by fixing the stadium and putting the lights there. You know, and when I spoke about the things in Roxborough, as you spoke about the issues in Roxborough, from the hospital to the fire service in the bush and all these number of stuff, it addressed the concerns. And so we could continue speaking from the sidelines, hoping that it will affect the players on the field. But in truth and in fact, what the people want is that the game be scrapped and fresh players go on to play. Yeah? They don't want us on the sidelines. They want us in the game and not on the sidelines.
In the game, yes.
Yeah, so we can cry out, and that's what we're going to do. Cry out. Keep crying out. Keep making noise. But you know what I find quite funny, Mama Coco, and allow me to address it here. There are some folks who say, what's the stay quiet now? Those are nothing. And I respect those persons who are saying that. I see them as persons who really care about me, and they don't want me to oversell the idea of a free Tobago. But I'm also concerned about when being quiet is too quiet.
Hey!
You know? When am I supposed to speak? Am I supposed to speak when they give permission? Am I supposed to speak at a particular time? This is the same person who have been crying out when there was no public transport in the east. Remember when the bus went over, I think it's Castara, and kill a man and damage a family. It is Lansom, one of those era north side. And we took up the cry. We walked. We demonstrated. And the police were trying to lock us up just for walking. Huh? But we got the bus. When there was an improper airport service, we protested on that. I sat in the airport with the people there in Trinidad, and they had to bring an extra flight. We protested over the boat. We swam, and 2 new boats came because they were bringing old boats. 2 new boats came. We continue being a force to reckon with, making noise, a loud cry, doing things from the sideline, influencing the game that is being played. And yet now, people are saying we are in a comfortable position. We don't want to lose it. Chill out. So
you can't chill out now.
It's difficult for me sometimes to understand people. All right? It's really difficult sometimes, Mama Coco, to understand people. That you have to, you have to understand, what do people really want? Do they want a Watson Duke that they can manage?
To muzzle.
Or they want a Watson Duke who is pursuing the thing in a way that he has been pursuing it? And if I've been pursuing it wrong, then point out to me my failures in the past when I pursued something and it turned out wrong.
Hey,
point out to me, and then that's the history. That's the empirical data. That's the historical data we will take. But if in me pursuing things, we have been able to bring light to issues. We have been able to clarify issues. We have been able to advance the cause of the common people that allow me to do my job. We have different people in the team. Those who are quiet, those who will not speak, they will do the quiet part. But don't tell me to be quiet. I mean, come on, man. Everybody got the role to play.
Mr. Duke, you bring down to sheep in Scarborough.
Remember that? When this man bought the sheep and the sheep would go down, the man came to me. And that's the problem, Mama Coco. When everybody's having their problem, come, Duke, I want you to highlight this to me. Come, Duke, I want you to highlight this. Do you remember the place they bought in Sanctuary Villas and the one in Speyside? It was me who exposed those things. And after expose that, 1 week after expose it, they came and said they're spending money to fix it back again. And they're saying to me,
you bring sheep in Scarborough. Yeah. Now the Prime Minister has sheep. People loving his sheep, but they're bringing you down for showing up a man who is suffering with his sheep.
Yeah, and can't get to go to Trinidad. Yeah. It's very, 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 it's difficult to understand people. And so I'm saying to the lecturer tonight, forgive me sometimes if I do not understand you, because it's always difficult to understand people. I'm a man who is guided by my inner feelings, my inner thoughts. I'm a conscious man. And then again, Mama Coco, there's a misconception I want to clear up tonight. One of it is that Duke should leave the PDP. They leave the PDP now. So I'm saying, all right. Why should I want to leave the PDP now? Why? When in between 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, right? There was no voice. No voice in the Tobago House of Assembly. No voice. Right? No voice. They had
all the seats.
All 12 seats in the Tobago House of Assembly were conquered by the PNM. Everybody was silent. They did what they want. There was no protest. And I took it upon myself, right? My very wife. I said, babes, I'm going to Tobago to fight this election. And I utilized the money I had to buy jersey because I won man show. It's a UNC, gave money from UNC. I took money from my funds at that time in 2015 to buy jerseys. I couldn't even get a truck. Shorty rent me a truck. Jason Allen used to give me music for free from Roxborough. Yes? And my Spartans in Roxborough, who started the thing, were the ones galvanizing the support around me and environs, Roxborough, Delaford, Argyle, etc. And a few people from around Tobago. That's how the thing started. And we began to build in 2015 as one man. One man with his own resources. You got a showing for almost 2,000 persons to Iona Webster Roy, almost 8,000. Nobody said, Watson, drop out now. Nobody said drop out now. They said, boy, you're going, you could continue. In 2016, just came from incarceration. When they gave me some stupid charge, I'm liar charge again. They gave me 2016. Well, between that and 2018, between 2015, when I ran as an independent, and 2017, when I offered myself at the polls, I got about 20 charges. They are telling you 20 charges I got from the government because they saw me as a threat. Okay? But what I want to highlight is this. When I came out from incarceration with one of the most heinous crimes that they could ever give to a man, if my mother was alive, she would have died from a heart attack. Okay?
Yeah.
Saying that I did some acts of violence against a woman. I would never, ever in my life do something like never, ever in my life. Never, ever, Mama Coco. Never in my life will I do something like that. Never. My mother would die from heart failure if she wouldn't find that out. They put that on me like a monkey. They gave that to me and said, look, you did it. You did it, Mama Coco. Mama Coco, that was in May 2016, I'm telling you. May 2016. And I came out in July of 2016, and I launched my first candidate right in Roxborough by the boatyard. And with them same roughneck guys, I said, this is the party. And we launched the party. And that was the first I launched one person in July. Next person I launched was Faith, Dr. Faith. That was in August, I think. And somewhere along September, October, I launched Farley in Speyside. And these persons saw something to come and follow. All right?
Yes.
I wasn't a madman then. Okay? I wasn't a madman then. I wasn't a big mouth man then. I was offering Tobago something Tobago never had. Tobago never had hope. It was just the PNM alone. This is a pickup side. This is a UNC team. They say we can't achieve nothing. But when we went to the polls, what was important to note is that in 2017 election, Mama Coco, we got 35% of the voting. Electorate 25%, 35%, 35%, 35%, as opposed to a 60-year-old party at the time called the PNM. You know what they got? 52%. All they got was 52% of the voting population. But yet, their 52% translated into 10 seats. 10 seats, Mama Coco. And our 35% only translated into 2 seats. That gave me courage. So how could I leave? How could I leave? And in 2015, 2016, 17, when we started the party, was my money again. Nobody not saying thanks, Watson Duke, for spending your hard-earned money, you know. Was my money again running the thing. Because nobody believed in us but us. I push him in money, I buy my jersey, I push him a thing. Good? All of a sudden now, everybody want to watch Watson wife. Oh, they get money. She work for that. She never steal that. She entitled to that. As any citizen of this country, she entitled to bid for a contract and get the contract. And that's an entitlement. Okay? I don't know why people hate success, especially when they know the successful person, they hate it more. If it's a foreigner, it's okay, you know. But once they know the person, they want to see a poor. I have not used my money for self-aggrandizement. I have helped people fix their roof, their rotten teeth, Mama Coco. I have used my money to support my party, support my beliefs. Men just use their money to pursue their own education, aggrandize themselves, put swimming pool in the house, do what they want to do. No, I built my house before I got into politics. I've always been an industrious man. I built my house from labor right in the village here. And so, when they see a man being successful, they turn around and hate, and they make people want to hate success by saying it's UNC money. Where they getting funding from is UNC money. But now, their conversation has changed. Hear the conversation now. Oh, it's the wife money, the wife thief money. As I say, they say the wife thief money. What's the thief money from the PSA? And the wife take money from Wassa. Their conversation are changing. These are evil people. When I say the PNM is a hate group, that's all they teach their people to do, is to hate. Hate the UNC, hate the PDP, hate, hate, hate. What have I done?
Hate without evidence.
Evidence. So they're saying, you know, Watson, leave the party. Give the party a bad name. Who is saying that the PNM is trying to infiltrate and say, leave the party. You don't go to the party. Stay on the side. But I'm not leaving this party, Madam Coco. I want to say I'm not leaving the PDP. I believe PDP. I'm the founding father of the PDP. Since Eric Williams' time and Captain Dio time, there has not been another person to form a successful party in this country. Not one person. Not one person. They are the only two persons in this country that have formed a successful party, and then myself. So I am not no madman. I'm a genius. I'm ahead of my time. I'm ahead of my time. And I know that history will absolve me. I don't expect no praise from man. But when I am dead and gone, Madam Coco, history will speak of me. And that's done already. I don't have to do it again. It's done already. That's what I'm saying to you. So I just want to put it on the report tonight for persons who are envying Watson Duke, a poor man's son, a poor woman's son, a person you know right from Roxborough.
A small man doing big things.
Big things. But Roxborough people have always done well, you know. Claude Noel, he was from Roxborough.
Yes.
Claude Noel, I was talking to Miss Adina today. Remember, is that no Miss Adina, right? From Roxborough. From Roxborough. No, she will. Campbell, yes.
Yeah.
And she was saying she knows Claude Noel.
I am godmother of her third son.
Lovely, right? Well, we all grew up in the same street. She said she know Claude Noel when he was small, and he loved to fight bad. Right? Claude Noel went on to become the first person in the Caribbean to win an international boxing title. Yet Claude Noel idea is without a proper stone that people could see. They put a stone in the bush, and the PNM always sticking up the ugly picture above his stone. The PNM. You see, these people are evil. Right where his stone is, you can't see his stone, but they put up the ugly picture there every time there's a campaign. How could I love the PNM? How could I love them? Claude Noel fought and gave this country recognition. The man is now blind. The man went to jail. All right? They are doing nothing for black success in Tobago. And if they were about black, the persons where there's a heavy concentration of black people would have been successful. Lavante would have been successful. Mova would have been successful. The East-West corridor would have been successful.
Big old Martin, right? Petty Valley,
would have been successful. Tobago would have been successful. But they hate black people. It is a hate group. And I vow, as long as I'm alive, I want to eradicate the PNM from Tobago and then from Trinidad. They must not be allowed to govern over these people at all. They are wicked, Madam Coco. I say that without fear or favor. So help me God. Affection or ill will.
Wow. This wasn't part of his show, but I acknowledge it, and I second it, and
because that's where I come from. I know who I am, now. I know what I've done for the country. I have given Tobago a voice. I've given Tobago a voice. There was no voice left. Farley and Faith and the rest of them would not have found a place in politics because they had no interest in it. They told me straight up they had no interest. At least Faith told me she had no interest. She's a technocrat. Farley just didn't come in. But I pursued them individually, even though I was charged then. And they came on the team knowing I was a charged person because they saw an opportunity to rescue Tobago. This is why I salute Farley and Faith.
Yeah, you sir. Hallelujah. Say it.
When we were just building this thing, I salute Farley and Faith. And they are the future of the party. I have no problem with it. I said it openly. Since 2019, I said, Farley is the next chief secretary. I want Farley to be chief secretary. I will stand by Farley. You know what the dirty PNM they're going to do? They're going to say, what's want to take over what's want to take back the party from Farley? How could I do something like that? When I invited him to come and he chose to come, how could I try to push Faith out? When I invited her to come and she chose to come and they're doing a good job, how could I put them out? These people are so evil. It is such a hate group. I believe that they should just ban them totally from this country as a hate group.
Psalm 21, we're going to use on them, sir.
Well,
Psalm 21, we're going to use them on them. We're going to use Psalm 17, the last passage in Psalm 17 on them. The last passage. Their substance will be leave for their babes. Yes, God is a hallelujah. They think they're ready for. They think they're ready for those that God tell us that righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to any people.
And this very same God said there is not one righteous. He said there's not one. Not one.
Not
so
one.
I'm not preaching self-righteousness here tonight. I'm not preaching self-righteousness. I'm saying tonight, my actions are pure. And my intention means well for the people. All right? Hey. I've spent my entire life trying to assist people, trying to lift people up. Not pushing people down. I've spent my entire life doing that. And I'm willing to die doing that, Madam Coco. I'm willing to die doing that, helping people. This is not about me. Madam Coco, if I had taken the wealth that we have been able to generate, I would even come back to Tobago. But I built my house in Tobago in the country area. That's where my house is. Not in the town. I'm a real hardcore countryman. Because I see a group of people oppressed in Tobago who needs a liberator.
You born and live in the sea, and you build a house in a village without sea.
All right. And that's what I'm saying to you. Right in the sea there. 2 minutes and I jump in the sea and I come back up the road. All of us, people like that. We see people, seafaring people.
That's right.
But I am saying I have been made a scapegoat for wanting to improve the lives of Tobagonians. And
I don't know why people can't see that.
It must stop. Just the other day, they go and say, fraud squad looking for Duke. Every day I'm in Port of Spain, every day. I'm going to work freely, coming back freely. Looking for me for what? What the fraud squad looking for me for? Oh, Duke is a thief. Thief what? Something that belongs to me? Could I thief something belong to me? This is why I say the PLM is a hate group again. They want people to hate you if you are successful. If you are successful, you did not achieve that success, you cheat. That's what they are saying. That's what the PLM style is. You can never achieve success by hard work. And tonight, I want Tobagonians to stand up and let's put our hands together, lock our arms, and let's go and demand our freedom. The time has come. Let's not wait on the PLM to give it to us.
What are we seeing here now?
Our freedom. I have the bell out, I ring it too. Wow. I'll get 3 ring. 3 ring.
Tut bagay, sir.
I'll ring it 3 times.
Tut bagay.
Amen, amen, word.
Assemblyman Mr. Du, can you educate us on the actual intent of a Tobago self-government bill? Is this secession? Before you answer that, let me
go. All right. Mama Coco, man, ring the bell. Mama Coco, the Tobago self-government bill seeks to rectify a problem that Tobagonians have been complaining about since 1889. I repeat, the Tobago self-government bill seeks to rectify a problem that Tobagonians have been complaining about since 1889. It's the position Tobago finds itself in called a ward. Tobago is a ward of Trinidad, meaning Tobago is a dependent of Trinidad. We are like an island. Trinidad fought for and conquer us, and so therefore we can do nothing except Trinidad gives us the okay. We are not equal to Trinidad. We are not. That's a reality. The song that we sing for our national anthem is not a Trinidad and Tobago anthem. It's the anthem of the Federation of the West Indies. Islands of the deep blue sea, side by side we stand. It's not a Trinidad and Tobago song because we are not equal. We are a ward. And so what this constitution seeks to do is to remove the stigma, remove the status of being a ward, to create an island of Tobago and an island of Trinidad within the sovereign democratic state of Trinidad and Tobago. I repeat, what the self-government bill seeks to do is to create an island of Tobago and an island of Trinidad, that's 2 separate islands, within the sovereign democratic state of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what it seeks to do. Now let me break it down for you a little bit.
Who started that idea? Who started the idea?
Well, the idea goes back to what we lost. What we lost in 1876 was the Constitution of Tobago. Most people have never seen the Constitution, but if you go back to history books, there was a constitution called the Constitution of Tobago. Tobago was a separate island from Trinidad that bear no resemblance, that bear nothing in similarity. Tobago had independence from since 1776 to 1876, 100 years you could say. Well, about almost 100, a little more than 100 years, Tobago was independent. Trinidad never got independence until 1962. Very important. Trinidad had a unicameral system. That was a one-chamber system. There was one house in Trinidad. Okay? Tobago had a bicameral system, a lower house and an upper house. From since 1769, Tobago had a bicameral system, a lower house and an upper house, where there was the House of Representatives and almost a Senate. Tobago voted for people. There was electoral politics. Though it was a system of plantocracy, it was electoral politics. And that continued up until 1889, when, for reasons unknown to us, they claimed that Tobago is no longer making money and they lump us with Trinidad. What Trinidad had then in 1889 was Crown Colony rule, which meant that the Queen was running things in Trinidad. Trinidad remained under Crown Colony rule right up until we got independence, which was 1962. Trinidad never had a unicameral system until 1961. So what we was enjoying in 1769, Trinidad only began to enjoy in 1961. Okay? Which is a bicameral system, a lower house and an upper house. What we were enjoying, what Tobago was enjoying, put it that way, in 1769, which is now an electoral politics, Trinidad only began to enjoy that in 1945, somewhere around in the 1940s, when they had adult suffrage. So Tobago was far advanced politically than Trinidad. Okay? What Trinidad did, after we became a ward of Trinidad, Trinidad continued to hold us in subjection. And so our situation has not changed. From 1889 to 2021, our situation has not changed because we are still dependent on them to solve our problems. Here, the Prime Minister, we have to step in, we have to intervene and solve this situation in Tobago because we are a ward, they can do it. If we were not a ward and we had our own autonomy, meaning our own ability to determine what we want for ourselves, Trinidad didn't have to step in, they couldn't step in. But we have no rights. Tobagonians have no rights. In other words, we have a livelihood, but no life. We have sleep sometimes. So sometimes we have sleep, but no rest. The Tobagonians is not persons who are acquainted with life and rest. Our lives have been like a bouncing ball, bouncing, and we desire rest. What this Tobago self-government bill supposed to do is to bring rest to Tobago. It ought to usher in rest. Tobagonians ought to rest in the arms of the House of Assembly, knowing it will be the panacea that will solve the internal issues with Trinidad. So if we want a boat, Tobago will determine for itself to buy a Tobago boat. We don't have to go to Trinidad again to go up to Barbados. You see the madness? There's no way in the Caribbean to have that. Where to go up, you have to go down.
Hey,
we have to go down before we go up. And that's good with Trinidad. It's good. We are saying Tobago will solve those problems. Tobago will solve the problem with tourism. We would be able to say to all of Trinidad, come to Tobago on holiday. We don't have to wait until COVID. We will eradicate race in Tobago right now. The PNM is practicing racism in Tobago, saying the Indians are not good. We are saying the Indians are good for Tobago. We are saying the Syrians are good for Tobago. We are saying the Chinese are good for Tobago. We are saying, hey, the French Creoles, they are good for Tobago. Because Tobago is a place where all persons ought to feel welcome. You know, in some countries, in Dominica, of the road there, you can qualify to be a citizen by making a particular investment. Don't get taken donkey years to become qualified to be a citizen. We have to amend our immigration laws. We have to amend our immigration laws. We must be able to invite persons who are of the diaspora but was not born here to come home and help us develop our country, just like India did, just like many other countries did. But the only way we can do that is if we have autonomy. Autonomy means that we in Tobago have the right to decide what is good for Tobago and not have Trinidad to do that. Trinidad is doing that for us now. Trinidad is saying what is good for you.
So that is not secession.
No. What secession is? Secession is a complete removal of Tobago from Trinidad. And so Tobago must have its own flag. Tobago must have its own national anthem. And Tobago will have no relation with Trinidad except by some treaty. What we are saying is quite different. We are saying there must be a sovereign democratic state of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, yes? But Tobago must be able to govern its own affairs, and Trinidad must govern its own affairs. In other words, if there is an island government of Tobago, there must be an island government of Trinidad. The Constitution Amendment seeks to create an island government of Tobago, but no island government of Trinidad. You see this madness? Again, this is flawed. How could you create an island government of Tobago, but no island government of Trinidad? It's a flawed document. If you are creating an island government of Tobago, you ought to create an island government of Trinidad, because there's no Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad cannot be Trinidad and Tobago by itself. It has to be Trinidad and Tobago with Tobago. And this is where we have a breakdown in intelligence. A lot of people with degrees, but no intelligence. It's like you're getting sleep, but no rest. Hallelujah.